What's up, guys? Tasteless and our Toasts are back here, bringing you Season 2 of the StarLeague. How's it going, man?
It's going quite well. We just saw an exciting group, indeed, Tasteless. Kind of not exactly who I expected to get out. I didn't think Congo would make it. But that's, you know, them's the apples. As they say.
Well, you know, Congo played very well.
He did.
He totally deserved to beat Jungbi.
I don't think there's any question that he really did.
Life just got just swept right out. Could not keep up. Fantasy shot out of that group, by the way.
Yeah. Really
I'm
great
really excited to see how far Fantasy can actually go here in the StarLeague.
Indeed. Well, our next group, 3 Zergs and a Protoss. Can we get another Protoss into that round of 16?
We certainly could.
You know, it's a very hard group. Leenock, Hiva, RorO, and First.
Yes.
Now, just looking at it, first instincts have to be, well, RorO and Leenock are just gods. Like, they are 2 of the greatest Zergs ever to have lived.
I feel like RorO somehow is still underrated.
That's
do you know what I'm talking about?
I think people do underrate him. People, like, the thing is, I think he's very similar in skill level to Sulky. And I actually
totally
think
agree.
Sulky and RorO are a little bit better than Life. Like, that's actually, in my opinion, they're actually the best 2 Zergs.
I have to agree. There was a period where Life was untouchable, but I feel like people have sort of figured his play style out a little bit. They know that you just have to have solid defense. If you don't have good solid defense, you're just in trouble.
Yeah. So, yeah, I agree. I think a lot of people undervalue RorO. Like, he could just win this tournament.
Yeah,
it would not surprise me if he went through and won. I'd be like, okay, yeah.
Makes sense.
It's RorO. That could happen. But First, I don't think a lot of people are probably betting on First. Because Hiva, you look at him, it's like, well, this guy, amazing talent. He was a Rookie of the Year in StarCraft 1 even. Very strong Zerg. In StarCraft 2, he's one of the cheesiest, most aggressive players that I've seen. I don't know how he's going to do. It's going to be wild with him in the group. Anything could happen. But First, I think, is a very quiet powerhouse Protoss.
Well, keep in mind, he only has 1 matchup he had to practice for. It's PvZ here.
You know what? He's the Theodore Roosevelt Protoss. He walks softly and carries a big stick, Tasteless.
Wow.
Like, this guy is actually a badass Protoss that no one ever talks about. You barely ever see anywhere. He's been pretty damn quiet since his IM Katowice win.
Yeah,
so
that's very true.
But he's actually, like, really good. People are just going to have to take my word for it. I guess he's going to speak for himself coming up here. But RorO is a tough first opponent. And guess what? His second opponent, if it's Leenock or Hiva, that's pretty tough. But, I mean, anything can happen here, man.
Yeah, anything can happen. I think First might get out, but he will not be the first to get out. Does that make sense?
If he beats RorO, he might be. But, yeah, RorO is like, he has to be one of the favorites here.
Yeah.
God, these groups are so hard today.
No, it's incredible. When you see how far we've come here in StarCraft 2, how many good players there are, the competition, even in the round of 32, like Group F here, the competition could be that high.
Yeah. All right, well, you see here, of course, RorO with a ton of WCS points because he's a badass.
Indeed.
He's been doing just so well in StarCraft 2 recently. Of course, won the last Wings of Liberty GSL. And then last season, obviously doing exceedingly well. Whereas First, well, I think this is the beginning of perhaps many top 32s in Korea.
I think so. But, you know, in order for him to squeeze into the top 32, he has to muscle out several other players. So it's incredible when you get to see how, you know, who gets to be on top and who slowly shrinks down to, you know, 32, 64 ranking. It's really interesting. Again, we're here in Group F. We just finished Group E. 2 of these players will move out of the group. 2 will be out of the tournament.
Well, look at those stats there. You know what? I think I would put the macro a little bit higher than what it's at right there.
Yeah,
that's when I think of RorO, I think of a mechanical beast, really. He's like very...
I would have had that in the 90s. But again, this is one of these things about RorO. I feel like he's overshadowed by the other players. I don't know if it's his personality, his play style, what it is, but...
I think it's because he's very standard.
To name a top Zerg, I don't immediately think RorO, even though I should.
Yeah, my brain jumps into Life Sulky RorO.
Exactly.
Maybe a little bit of Symbol mixed in there.
Yeah.
But no, I think this guy really is comparable or better than those players. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, man. But he's such a standard macro Zergish. Just like really, he's maybe the best at just completely standard macro Zerg play.
Yeah.
And sometimes those players are overshadowed.
His playstyle is very vanilla, if you will.
Yeah.
You know? But it works, and that's
He's
important.
not a key lime pie Zerg.
No, he is not. He is not a cookie dough ice cream Zerg either.
No, he's not, even though that's becoming more mainstream, I would say, as far as ice cream flavors.
That's actually very true. So, let's see here. His opponent here is first. I got to agree with the popularity factor there. Not a popular player. Not yet, at least.
Yeah. Actually, all those numbers seem pretty accurate. I might give his offense a couple more points.
Yeah.
I might give his strategy a few more points as well. I am a fan of strategically his Protoss vs. Terran is one of the best, I think. His unit movements, his Colossus switches, some of the best that I've seen in the entire game.
So, looks like we are almost ready to get this game going here. Again, the winner goes on to the winner's set. The loser goes on to the loser's set. So, even if one of these players loses here, remember it's a best of one, by the way. We're not doing best of threes today. Even in a best of one, if you lose, you're not out yet. You're just in trouble.
Yeah.
You still have a chance to come back. And I like this format. I think it makes it a lot more fair for all the players in the group. So, yeah.
Well.
How are you doing today, Artosis? Talk to me.
You know, I'm doing pretty well.
Pretty well?
Yeah. I've had a pretty good day so far. I'm pretty tired, though.
Not feeling too good?
No, I feel good, but I'm a little bit tired, I guess. I don't know. I've been up all day, so.
That baby been keeping you busy?
Sometimes, yes.
He's got the cutest baby.
Cuter than your baby. I'm so sorry.
It's cuter than your baby at home. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm sure someone.
If you don't have a baby yet, his is already cuter than that baby. You'll have
a baby, and it might be the second cutest baby ever. I don't know. That's
I hope it is. That would be great for you, but
probably not the cutest since I already have that.
Yeah, since you can't.
Yeah.
Those two facts can't occupy.
If she was on one of those cards, she'd have 100 on her cuteness.
How high would her cheese be?
Her cheese?
Yeah.
She loves cheese. It would be like 95.
All right. That's good to know.
Yeah, it's one of her favorite foods.
I'm sorry. I thought the players had joined the game. They have not yet. So I don't know.
Their computers are probably broken.
No, yeah, probably. With the luck we've been having today. Yeah. If you're just now joining us, we had, I think, a record amount of downtime when it came to those PCs.
We're still adding to that. We're doing the best we can with that.
Yes. So we'll see. Hopefully everything's gets figured out with that. This broadcast is piggybacked on GameNet, so it's not the GOM guys running stuff here. So we're just gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah. Well, it looks like RorO finally got an invite to the game. So, anyways, Tasteless.
What's up?
Tasteless.
What's up?
Let's talk about something because the amount of downtimes that they are giving us are pretty wild.
It's pretty impressive. Yeah, sure. What do you want to talk to me about?
Well, that's why I asked you. It's your turn to decide.
Is it my turn to decide?
Yeah.
All right. You saw the new Superman movie, right?
Yes.
How was it?
It was good.
Give me a review.
I would say it was the best Superman movie I've seen. I don't like Superman.
Yeah, the truth is, though, there are not a lot of good Superman movies.
No, well, the problem with Superman is he's invincible and has every superpower all at once. It's like actually really stupid.
What was that? They had this line in Kill Bill, but it's like really interesting that Superman is born with a cape on, and every other so his alter ego is actually Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Every other superhero, actually, they're a normal person, and then their alter ego is a superhero. It's actually a very interesting concept.
Yeah, I guess
Bruce Wayne, his alter ego is Batman, but Superman's alter ego is actually Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Is him being like an invincible super force.
Yeah.
That has to try to lead the most ordinary life.
That's interesting, but no matter how much you interest me, I'll never like Superman. He's too strong.
Well, no, he's definitely not my favorite when it comes to.
Yeah.
I'm more of an X-Men guy.
Oh, X-Men is
for
where it's at. Did you see a new Wolverine movies coming out?
How many Wolverine movies are there now?
I have no idea.
I've lost count of how many times I've seen Hugh Jackman star as Wolverine in a movie.
A lot of times.
A lot of times.
Very many times. But it looks like it'll be decent. X-Men movies generally are pretty decent.
Yeah, they do a pretty good job with the X-Men movies,
yeah.
actually.
It's not like Yeah, a lot of the superhero movies. Did you ever see the Green Lantern?
No,
I didn't either. It looked pretty bad. I don't know.
I'm not even into that comic as much. So.
No, I've never even read it.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, it's like pretty hard to rope me into that one. But
Yeah.
I'm not much of a movie guy, actually. It's hard to get me to sit through a movie. So.
Yeah, it's actually impossible.
So
Tasis is like one of those little kids, like you sit him on the couch and like by the end he's like upside down, like playing with blocks. And I'm like, Tasis, can you just watch the movie?
Put your blocks down. I'm like, I'm having too much fun with my blocks.
Yeah.
Looks like First has now joined the game, so we should be starting this pretty soon, I hope.
Oh, we probably won't, though.
Probably not.
So let's keep talking. But yeah, you know what? There's this thing that happens a lot of times in these movies, and Superman was one of them. In the beginning, there's a scene in Krypton. I could have watched that for 5 hours straight with no dialogue. Like, it was so good. Okay?
That's what I heard about in the Thor movie, too, right?
In the Thor movie.
Yeah.
This is another one I told you about. The first half of the Thor movie, or maybe a little bit less than half, they're like fighting ice giants on an alien ice giant world. I could watch a 10-hour movie of that. And then he goes to Earth and falls in love and like loses powers. I'm like, I wanted to get up and leave the theater, but I was hoping there'd be more ice giants.
Yeah.
You know, and
but, you know, pacing the movies, it's a really hard thing to do.
Well, you know what? Someone needs to man up and put up the money and make an Ice Giants versus Thor's Army movie. And they need to make like a Krypton movie. And they need to make a movie about the parts of Terminator where it's actually like battles going on, even though all of Terminator 1 and 2 is very good.
No, of course. No, because that's what makes it so cool is you know that there's actually that futuristic war. I thought they did that, though. Didn't they make like the fourth Terminator movie?
They made, I think it was 3, number 3. Or
Terminator 3 is the one with the female Terminator. Then there's one that stars...
So 4 is the one with the guy that's like...
Christian Bale.
Okay, yeah. That's the fourth one. I was excited when it was coming out, but it wasn't what I was looking for.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one either, so...
Yeah, no, you just don't watch anything.
No, I don't, actually. I pretty much... I found Game of Thrones, and I don't really need other shows.
Forms of entertainment. Well, that's gone for a while, Tasis.
That is gone for a while. That's okay. I got the whole series. I'll just start it back up at the beginning.
There you go.
I've already done this several times. So, do we know what the delay is here?
No.
Nope, we don't. Okay.
No idea.
Sit tight, guys.
Yeah.
Soon we will be casting this game for you.
Well, you say soon, but it's one of those soons that we see in esports all the time.
Yeah. Well,
who knows what that means?
Instead of using soon, I should be hopefully we'll be casting this game for you guys.
Oh, by the way, guys, tomorrow is the Code A qualifiers, and Wolf and Calder are going to be casting some of that, so you can check that out.
Oh, yeah. Definitely check that out.
And because of the overlap and like a lot of people being busy with going to MLG and all that stuff, Meta will be postponed till next week. So, little announcement there. No Meta.
No. Like, oh, look, he's stopping the show already.
Like, I wonder how many tweets I'll get about that.
Probably a lot.
No, when I read them, I roll my eyes, guys.
And then he probably blocks you. All right, so we got our 2 players now. Let's see who's going to be the winner here in this PvZ. We have only 1 Protoss in this group and 3 Zergs.
I can't believe we're actually starting this game.
I'm a little wiggly. All right, so get ready, get hype. I'm Tasteless, with me is Artosis, and this is the StarLeague Season 2 here at GOMTV.net. Our Zerg player in the upper left, a GSL champion, he is.
Grandmaster, Samsung Ken RorO.
And his opponent down here in the bottom right, the only Protoss in this group, he is.
New challenger, LGIM First.
What's up, Artie?
Well, looks like probably a gateway expand is what's up. In fact, that definitely has to be a gateway expand. You don't forge expand with your pylon out there.
No. That would be the worst forge expand possible. That's the one where if you get 6 pulled, you die no matter what.
Look at this scout timing. This is to stop hatchery first.
Yeah.
I like it. I like people that mix this in with their gateway expands, because hatchery first is very good against a gateway expand. So by sending this probe, sometimes you can set them off and make them think it's not a gateway expand for a little bit longer. Sometimes you can block a hatchery that's trying to come down.
You know, most importantly, it does give you control over the game. It allows you to dictate what they can and cannot do.
Yeah. And in this case, RorO was not even going for it, so it's okay. But it's not like you're sacrificing some gigantic portion of economy here.
Yeah.
By scouting at 11. normally in this matchup, if you go for just a very standard Forge expand, you scout at 9. So
yeah,
this is not a bad thing to mix in with a gateway expand.
And so here's the probe now. Should be able to deny that hatch, as we said.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So when this pool finishes, he managed to get it down anyways.
So a little bit of a miss micro there, but that's okay. Just keeping the probe alive is a little bit more important. But any second that you can delay it, that adds up, man. Sometimes it's a larva less even.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, it's all these little things that can allow you to get a victory here. Occasionally in Starcraft, it's not just one big move. And oh my God, this is going to be a one base.
No.
Excuse me. As I said, I saw the Nexus.
This is actually, and I should have mentioned this earlier. This is something that we've seen a little bit more lately with gateway expands. Is if you scout a little bit earlier, like we saw there, and you see that it's not a really quick pull, you can expand off a single gateway. And get your Nexus up a lot faster. So, in fact, I believe I saw this at Home Story Cup as well, and maybe one other place. But yeah, this is a new, just slight variation, slight twist to the Gateway Expand, just a way to make it more greedy and more efficient.
All right, so these forlings are going to get in here now. Let's see how many probes they can get.
I think he's going to probably get in like one probe or so. That's probably my guess there. Yeah, probably. No taste. That's a nerdy joke. Okay, there's one. I don't think he's going to lose another one though. You really, if you lose more than 2 here, I'd say that's a pretty big mistake.
Yeah, I got to agree with that.
You already have the Zealot out. We have the Mothership Core on the way. The Stalker on the way. You should not lose that one.
He needs to get that. Oh my God! Cybernetics Core up, by the way. Oh no, that is up. Excuse me. I've had like 2 missed calls in this cast already, Artos. I'm off to a bad start. I must be a little out of it today.
All right. No. Okay, so it looks like he's going to end up having lost 2. Tries to go back for the other one. Does not work. So 2 kills with the forlings, plus good scouting, plus, kind of slowing him down overall. That was pretty worthwhile with those lings.
No, it absolutely was. Stargate on the way now.
No gas yet here for RorO. And this, he's kind of playing against what he's seen here. This is not like exactly what he had planned, likely, because these gas timings are like normal, as if there was a Forge expand. He basically saw that this was such a quick Nexus that the Cybernetics Core is a lot slower, which means that Warp Gate rushes will come a lot slower.
Yeah.
So in that, plus all the scouting he did with the Zerglings, he knows that there's no incoming attack, and thus he could get the really quick third and get the late gases. So really good play by both players. They're both like really playing very reactive games right now, which is great to see.
I like this one Zealot coming out here. Just going to buy some time here. He might even want to try going for some of those drones. And it looks like it's going to be taken out now.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I want to point out here is these Protosses are doing a really good job of using that Mothership Core to actually spot on the high ground and get rid of these Overlords. And I feel like a lot of Zergs have not quite adapted to that yet.
Yeah. Definitely got to be careful about where you place things at the moment in the game.
Yeah.
Well, we do have Phoenixes being made, and they're actually being pulled, which is something you don't see as often nowadays.
Yeah, this is a little bit of an older strat.
Yeah. It used to be you would always pull up to 4 Phoenixes to run in and start sniping queens, but nowadays people make extra queens, and they're more on top of seeing the Phoenixes, and just generally speaking, people like to move out with their Phoenixes quicker. So a little bit of a older school variation from first here.
By the way, guys, we do have the best observers in the business here at GOMTV, so send some love to Legend in Heaven, because they make this viewing experience possible for us.
Yeah. By the way, we do have a little secret pylon warping in some Zealots so far.
Looks like he's going to try to catch that third base. We'll catch Zerg off guard and hit that third base hard.
A 6 Zealot attack right now is going to actually be really nice. There's only 6 Zerglings on the map. He does have a Roach Warren, but it's going to be a little bit slow.
Yeah. And the timing of this, when they get in there, I mean, this is a lot of damage that they can actually get done.
16 drones started.
Oh, man.
First is going to do a lot of damage. RorO has to be just kicking himself.
This can cost you the entire game. You're really not supposed to lose this base yet.
This is really painful. Now, look, he's actually going after drones and this queen, and I do like killing the queen for sure. Now, the drones are definitely going to get away. He should bring back the zealots at this point and see what he can actually get done over here. More drones came down.
That was weird.
Yeah, he's got to be careful about that.
Wow, you know, it seems as though RorO does not want to give up this base, even though I don't think it's possible for him to actually save this.
And, of course, these Phoenix is going to be able to lift up a lot of roaches. First is just getting into such a nice spot here. RorO trying to deal with it as best he can with roaches come out, but he saved all the lifts for the roaches.
Yeah, exactly.
And at this point, with the Phoenixes there, the Mothership Core alone, even though Zealots died like 30 seconds ago, the Mothership Core would have been able to finish this. So,
yeah,
really, really nice expansion snipe here from First.
And you gotta keep in mind, too, I mean, those drones, they were not mining from the base the entire time. They're being used to defend, so this is a huge economic deficit here.
You know, there's so many things that went into what we just seen here, such as the Forlings going in the main base. He has less scouting on the map, and First actually got a pylon down, and you know, of course, RorO has to be kicking himself so hard for that, because if he catches that pylon, that never happens, and suddenly he's in a much better spot. But right now,
exactly.
Like, First is actually, look at this, he's got the double forge, Tasteless. Oh boy, it looks like we are going to see some Stardust play.
Yeah.
Some quick upgrades. Very, very powerful.
Looks like he's got enough sentries back here at home. I don't know if First can lose at this point in time, man. I just do not know.
His attack is going to be ridiculously strong.
Yeah, this is right when Zerg's just trying to pick all the pieces back up. Put himself back together again.
You know, RorO is getting the Infestation Pit. I wonder if he's going to go Infestors. Because Infestors, I mean, that would do pretty well, because the type of unit composition that we've seen a lot recently with the double forge type of play is a lot of Zealots, a lot of Immortals, and a lot of Sentries. And Infestors, just generally speaking, are going to be pretty good against that.
Oh, kind of messed up those force fields there, but he's still going to come out ahead right now. Is he going to get a cancer? That would be one thing that Protoss could definitely not want to have happen. And a cancel, indeed it does.
And that was a decision for First, because I think he could have actually force fielded, but he would have had to use basically all his force fields.
I think you're right. I think he could have force fielded around his Nexus, but then, I mean,
no force
can he
fields
really
left.
be aggressive? No, like he still has a lead here.
Yeah. The Nexus cancel, while it's a nice thing for RorO, it doesn't give him back a lead for sure.
Yeah,
well
exactly.
Said. All right, so 2-2 is on the way. That charge upgrade as well. Of course, 2-2 Zealot's going to be very strong.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The Phoenix is continuing to try to harass a little bit. Park over the Spore Crawler.
All right, as you can see now, the Phoenix is just scouting around. I think this attack might be too much for RorO to deal with, and this would be a really bad start here. RorO loses the first game, potentially.
You know what? He has 7 Infestors about to pop out. If he catches that Sentry Clump one time with a fungal,
That's actually a very good point, Artosis.
Yeah, he'll kill all of it. And he's using up a lot of energy on his Phoenixes right now, going after Queens. So I guess he doesn't know that there actually are going to be Infestors popping out. This is very, very fortuitous for RorO. Oh my god, he's just going to chain fungal these things to death.
All right, he's moving out here now. Let's see if he can get those. Oh, nice dodge there.
Yeah, really good dodge. And there we go. He's going to try to lift him up, and nice. Lifting him up and getting underneath. This is exactly what First needs to do. Great decision making. He's going to snipe all these Infestors, but we do have some fungals going down. Those sentries getting low on life, and a lot of Zerglings coming in.
And you know what? It looks like RorO actually just has too much. Recall, turning around.
That was actually just fantastic play by both players.
This is the funny thing about RorO is, like, his play is not fancy, okay?
No, it's not.
But, I mean, look, he had taken so much damage early on. He gets all the way back over there, and then he actually manages, once the Protoss attacks, to have enough to hold that. That's a really impressive moment there.
Yeah, it truly was. That was very good. I'm really glad that he went for Infestors there. That was a nice move. And, you know, it could have gone a lot better for him. But, you know, First did just the right thing. I love that he lifted them. He didn't try to, like, snipe them with Phoenixes. Just lift them so they can't fungal. Get underneath.
All right, he's going to take out this Queen now. And, First is still playing well, but I'm worried that now RorO has enough of a lead that it's going to be really tough to win, or really tough for him to take out RorO.
Well, you know what? I think he's still going to be fine. He has to be careful about losing too much here at this third base, though.
Yeah, that's very true.
He's got to keep his economy going. RorO is taking that fourth, but the important thing here is he already has 3-3 on the way. If he moves out, if he just gets as many units as possible and moves out at 3-3, that's going to be pretty strong. But how many infestors are out? Oh, there's only 2. Never mind. Okay, because I was going to say, like, if he still had 5-6 infestors, or if he had remade them or something, that would have been very helpful. Upgrades, fungal growth does not care about upgrades.
This is very true. All right, so the Roaches are now, looks like they're going to set up to do a counterattack. If Protoss leaves, they're going to go for that third base and hit the Nexus. We'll see if he actually does do that, though.
Oh,
First,
my God.
Might actually just end up turtling.
13 mutas on the way, a really strong tech switch. But even though he doesn't have a good anti-muta army, he's going to have 3-3. And he's got Blink on the way. We'll see if that comes into play. I think it will. But yeah, the 3-3 against 0-0 mutas is, mutas can heal as much as they want, Tasteless. They're not going to be 3-3 Protoss units.
No kidding. You have one Archon shot on that ball, that's it.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Just about.
But it is a smart move for him to at least get the mutas because right now first base is not muta-proofed.
That's right. The mutas are going to do a lot of damage. In fact, they could face... there's going to be a base trade. No matter what in this game, there will be a base trade.
All right, he's hitting the Archon now here.
Really smart.
Really smart because the mutas are now out.
And look at this.
Roaches are not as important as the mutas are right now.
This
so
is
it was
such...
a good trade.
Yeah, it's such a powerful attack by the mutas in the main base. That's really good, man. This has to be feeling really bad now because he's played a very good game. But now
he's played a very good game.
He's forced into a base trade type of scenario.
This game is actually a very confusing game for First, I think. I thought I did everything right. How come when I got here you had more stuff? How did that happen?
Yeah, I can't disagree with you on that. Well, here we go. This is a very powerful tech. There's no way to stop that on land. But, again, this is the base trade scenario that's going on.
All right, the drone's now evacuating, but pretty much none get out alive. The hatchery goes down. Looks like he's going to try to go for the third base. Meanwhile, Zealots, I believe a Warp Prism dropped those off over there into the main.
Certainly did. Now he's taking out the third base as well. But here's the thing. 3-3 upgrades. He's got to be careful. He's got to blink those Stalkers back. He's just got to get a big enough clump to slow these mutas down so he can win this base race. But that is a lot of mutas. He's about to have almost 30.
Oh, man, this is so cool. I have no idea how this game's going to end.
Yeah, this could go either way, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of spines. He has to get his Immortals in the front. He's going to lose all his Zealots. Oh, those are good fungals.
All right, he's closing in now. Continuing to hit hard, but yeah, those fungals are so good. And now First is not even on top of his army, now bringing the rest over there.
There we go. And in fact, he is still trying to hold off a helmet. That is a lot of mutas still. Breaking through these spine crawlers on the back of 3-3 Immortal Zealot.
This game is so weird right now.
Yes, it is.
I actually have no idea who wins this.
Well, as far as speed on killing buildings, Protoss has got that covered. But this many Mutalisks, look, one of those Archons really low on health. It's actually very hard to say who's going to win this. Very, very hard.
Does Protoss still have the Templar Archives?
I will check that for you. And yes, he does.
Because I'm just thinking if he just gets 1 or 2 Archons made.
He has 88 gas, though, and he's barely mining.
But I think he had a 500 a little bit ago, so I think he might have just made Archons.
Let's see. For units, he's got 3 Archons and 15 Stalkers. That's his anti-air. But some of these Stalkers definitely going to be caught. Okay, here we go. The Stalkers do come out to fight, but they might need a little bit more. There we go. This Sentry's going to come up. He needs Guardian Shield.
Guardian Shield, please.
But 3-3 is just so good against 1-0 mutas.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's just going to go for the fight. He has to do it. It looks like he doesn't have enough. And GG. First takes the game against RorO.
That was an awesome game.
That was an awesome game.
I didn't expect it to look like that.
No.
I didn't expect it to end like that.
No, both of these players played fantastically. I am so pleased with what we just watched.
All these new badass Protosses now that Heart of the Swarm is out, and all these Kespa guys have switched over to Starcraft 2. It's really exciting.
Oh.
Players like Trap, players like First.
First is first of many, I think, Tasteless.
Gotta agree with that. Gotta second that one.
He's He's a scary Protoss. That was like just such solid play. I will definitely be rewatching that VOD tomorrow.
It was a little bit of a confusing game, actually.
It was a confusing game. There was a lot of little things going on, like the 4 Zerglings running and doing more damage than they should have, but he got the warp in with 6 Zealots. He killed the base. He left the lifts on the Phoenixes, which he pulled and hid to lift roaches to make sure he could do it. Like, everything... And then, of course, the Infestor tech, realizing, uh-oh, I'm going to need this to actually deal with the type of army composition that's coming at me. Everything about it was really great. And then the 3-3 carrying him through. If he hadn't gone double Forge, he might have lost that.
That was definitely a game where upgrades won. Because, massive mass mutaballs here. I don't know if
beat Protoss.
They beat Protoss. I mean, if you don't have enough anti-air, you just lose. But, they did such a good job of handling, taking out the Zerg's base. And then, of course, I think the Zerg did make somewhat of a mistake in even trying to engage any of that. Because with Blink there, you can chase the mutas very easily.
Yeah.
And any muta you kill in that situation is invaluable.
Well, I think at that point his building count was so low, he just knew he didn't have the damage. If he had, like, a big bunch of lings, he might have been able to just kill all the buildings before his die.
The mutas are not going to kill buildings anywhere near as quick as that Protoss death ball.
Yeah. Especially with the Immortals mixed in. Oh my God, buildings die so fast.
True that.
Yeah.
Well, we have Lenok in the game. We're just waiting for other Zerg player to join in.
Yeah.
Hiva.
Yeah, Hiva versus Lenok. This is a hard one to call because I think of Lenok as in StarCraft 2 a better player, but Hiva was literally Rookie of the Year in StarCraft 1
He's
year. And
so good.
With the skill level of players going in each year, that is an amazing thing. He was a very high-end player, and the thing is he's doing well in StarCraft 2, but he's so cheesy. He's like
he really is.
I mean, it's not that he was only a macro player in StarCraft 1, but he's so aggressive in StarCraft 2. It's like I don't know. I think he's just smitten with Larva Inject and how many units he can get.
Lenok, we've casted a lot of Lenok games. This guy is a veteran here at GOMTV. Young but deadly. And, with Hiva here, Hiva's a tough one to predict. I have not actually seen many of Hiva's StarCraft 2 games, actually, so I don't
he's only really played in Pro League, and I guess obviously he qualified here, but yeah, there's not nearly the amount of games. I mean, look at Lenok. He's 130 and 95, and this is just, I think that's just for Korea stats. Yeah, it must be just for the Korean stats, so that's crazy. And here's what our Korean journalists have voted in his attributes here. If there was a heart category, he'd have 100 in it. If there was a what? Heart category. Oh, a heart category? Yeah. He gets 100 heart. So, Artosis, your predictions here. I'm saying Lenok 2-1. Well, it's a best of one, so. What am I doing? I'm actually I'm a little out of it today, man. I'm sorry. That's okay. It is a best of one. I'm so used to casting Code S, and I'm this is the first tournament I've casted in a long time that is a best of one, Yeah. It's a hard one, Tasteless. I think Lenok. You think Lenok? I do, but, I mean, we're going to have to see what they open up with. I think that's one of the most important parts. And, guys, just because I say Hiva's very cheesy, and he has been so far, that does not mean he can't play a macro game. He absolutely can. Even when we get these players, we're this guy's kind of cheesy, with the exception of very few people. All these guys can play a macro game. Yeah. Now, much lower stats for Hiva here. Not a shocker. I'm interested in popularity 67. I thought it would be a little bit higher than that. Because, if his popularity is that low in Korea, think of how low it is internationally. Yeah, I know he's definitely not very popular internationally, but very talented player indeed. Yeah. I think, I have a feeling he'll be doing some sort of Zergling Baneling type of stuff. Just kind of something like that, yeah. All right, well, remember, the winner of this goes on to face off against first. The loser has to go on and face off against RorO. That's a tough one if you lose that this first game here. Yep. All right, well, the countdown has begun, Tasis. We're going to be getting right into this ZVZ. And the loser of this has to go up against RorO. That has to be pretty scary. That's a lot of pressure. I know, right? All right, so the game is loading. The map will be Belshire Vestige. And I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to pull through here. Which of our 3 Zergs is going to be the